What's up, everybody? It's your boy Wakeangel2001 trying to sound hip and cool, and I will stop that right now. It's bad enough that I'm actually old enough to be most of your dads. I do not want to actually sound like it, too. Okay, so let's do another r/Wakeangel2001 thread. I think I'm going to have to split this video into two parts because there's been quite a lot of activity on there. So up first, this is a post by Huge Leg. He says, Sonic and Sally is his favorite video game ship. Come at him. And that is some lovely artwork done by Tracy Yardley, one of my favorite artists to work on the Sonic the Hedgehog comic franchise. And you know what? I will say that Sonic and Sally is also my favorite Sonic ship. However, you can't call it the video game ship because Sally's not from the video games. Now, I know there was that one little cameo in Sonic Spinball, but come on, guys. We really want to say that that counts. So, like, you gotta remember, there's a lot of different canons for Sonic the Hedgehog. Just like when you say you're a Batman fan, like, people might appreciate that catch-all term, but then there's the movies from the 90s, then there's, like, the Nolan trilogy made more recently, then there's, like, the animated series, there's the Adam West series, the comic books, the rebooted comic books, the rebooted comic books, you kind of have to specify because it's going to be different depending on your source material. And the source material for this is going to be the cartoon series from the 90s and the following comic book that lasted like a little over 2 decades, but not the video games. So, yeah, my favorite ship from the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, but it's not my favorite video game ship because it's not a video game ship. And this thread also has a whole bunch of other pictures of Sonic and Sally that I have not shared in this video, so you're going to have to actually go to the Reddit thread to check those out. You're also going to have to go to the Reddit thread to check the next post that just has a bunch of cool fan art of Sally looking quite hippie and curvaceous, so yeah, you want to see that, you got to go to the thread. Up next is an old retro fans internet iceberg for Sonic the Hedgehog, and I'm on here! Hooray! Okay, this is kind of an awkward one. Alright, so I'm not really sure how these icebergs go. There's like, I guess the clouds above are like the ones that everybody knows about, even maybe casuals. Like, it's for kids, there's bad games, cringy! And then there's like the surface, which is what a lot of people might know of from the fandom. Like, there's PipUpFan77, the creator of Sonic Stop Motion Adventures right there. Then you get just below the surface, where I am. Look at me, Wakeangel2001. I'm there with PowerPoint 3PO, Sonic Storm 12. I don't know who any of these people are. But look at that picture of me. That is an old picture of me. Like, I see myself holding the tornado I made. That's my first tornado custom. That's from a video that's over 10 years old. I think the tornado was one of the first things that I ever made. Like, it's easily one of my first 10 or 15 projects. So, like, wow, they picked a really old picture of me to represent my place on this iceberg. And yeah, I'm gonna come right out and say I really don't know many of the other names on here. I'm sorry, I was never really part of any kind of inner circle of Sonic fan people. There's no cabal of Sonic the Hedgehog internet fandom that I've been initiated into. I'm just a guy. But yeah, it is nice to see that I'm actually represented on the retro Sonic fan internet iceberg, and that I even get the picture. Hooray! I mean, I would have been excited just to get the name cameo, but to actually be the picture that represents that level of the iceberg, that's kind of cool. Yeah, I like that. That boosts my ego a little bit. Up next, since we've been talking about shipping so much, somebody decided to just do a little crack ship of Sonic with Boom Sonic. I find that amusing. I'm also kind of starting to like the fan theory that the cast of Sonic Boom is at least a couple of years older than the proper universe counterparts. That would explain why Sonic appears to be proportionally taller because like the size of his head in proportion to the rest of his body is somewhat smaller compared to proper universe Sonic, and you could chalk this up to the fact that Sonic, being roughly 3'6", is because he's 15 years old, whereas most full-grown adult Mobian characters like him, like for example Dr. Starline, are represented at around 4 feet tall. So you know, Sonic has grown a little bit. That makes sense. Although this does mean that Sonic's into older dudes, assuming he's into dudes. But yeah, that's my commentary on that one. And up next, this picture of Chernobog. I don't care how many people disagree with me on this. There's no other villain from any franchise that's scarier than the devil himself from Fantasia. It's Chernobog. And yeah, that was one of the cooler sequences from Disney's Fantasia. I think that might also be the only Disney movie feature that ever has characters with visible nipples in it, both male and female. Now, I got some of you are going to try and hunt down the original Prince of Fantasia just so you can see what I'm talking about. But yeah, like, this dude literally emerged out of a volcano, and he just started messing stuff up with a wave of his hands. Like literally, he just completely messed around with creation. Of course, The Light of Day put him down, but you know, this is just a musical with no dialogue, so it's, you know, it's all artsy. And yes, Dr. Eggman. Don't think he knows how to appreciate that. And again, there's more pictures on this thread that I did not share here. Up next is Golden Genesis is making an Eggmobile for the Jakks Pacific Eggman. Hey, good on you. I made a couple of Eggmobiles back in my day. It looks like you got a good start going on here. It looks a little bit square, but I'm sure that you'll be, this is just like the internal parts, the seating, the little cockpit window, so you'll probably build it up. I've seen these egg-shaped domes that have like knockoff Lego building things that I've seen at Five Below. I think they're about the right size and shape to make a Jakks Pacific scaled Eggmobile. I'm wondering if they'll ever make vehicles for the 4-inch figures in Jakks Pacific, or if they make vehicles at all, will they stick to the 2.5-inch line? I gotta say, that might get me to be a little bit more dedicated to collecting the 2.5-inch line. Like, right now, I'm only collecting the 2.5-inch for characters that are canonically shorter, such as the Badniks, or, like, the Chow. But, like, yeah, if they start making vehicles for the characters in 2.5-inch, I might actually have to start buying them. Of course, I'm not really sure if the vehicles would actually work with the characters, because the characters aren't really sculpted to sit in anything. They might make special variants of the characters specifically to interact with the vehicles, but whatever. Anyway, I've been on that one a little bit long. Here's an interesting one. Someone proposed a custom opportunity. Use the Mondo Gecko from the TMNT line. The 3D CGI one from 2011? Yeah, TMNT 2011, I think it was, to make Gex. Good old Gex. He was supposed to be like the Sonic the Hedgehog for an obscure video game console called the 3DO. He was kind of a wisecracking, catchphrase spewing mascot character, and they really tried to make him a thing. And you know what? He does possess like that mid-90s attitude that really would have made him a great mascot character. Only problem was that his game was on the 3DO. Did you know anybody that owned a 3DO? I certainly didn't. And I seriously had friends that had like every video game console ever. But the 3DO, that thing was like way overpriced. I think they cost $600, and that's not corrected for inflation. It cost $600 in 1996 money. I think correcting for inflation, I forgot to turn my ringer off. I got another text message. I think if you correct it for inflation, like $600 in 1996 would be like $800 or $1,000 now. And considering the library of that system was not very big, like, it absolutely was not worth it. So poor Gex, I think his game got ported over to the PlayStation, but on there he was just another also ran. Particularly because PlayStation, Sony doesn't really do much for its mascot characters. Like there's supposedly mascots for the PlayStation. Like you got Nathan Drake, you got Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, but yeah, when's the last time you had a great big mascot thing going for the PlayStation? Like just yeah. I think they made a Ratchet and Clank game fairly recently, and that's about it. Like, they don't really seem to care too much about it. I feel like Spider-Man is more of a representative for Sony right now than any of their iconic original characters, which is kind of sad to say. But yeah, I got way off base on this one. Yes, I do believe it would be possible to make a Gex custom using a Mondo Gecko as a base. The hardest part will probably be sanding off all the clothing elements to make it look like a naked anthropomorphized gecko, or semi-anthropomorphized, like he literally just looks like if a lizard stood up. But yeah, I think it might be possible. Moving along. Does anyone think Wakeangel should make a Earthworm Jim custom? Okay, wow, everyone just wants to bring out the obscure mascot characters that haven't done much since the 90s, huh? I had the official Earthworm Jim action figure from back then. Yeah, like they did make real Earthworm Jim toys. It was a tie-in to his Saturday morning cartoon, which ran for a season. Pretty decent Saturday morning cartoon. I would put it up on par with like the Adventures of Sonic cartoon. I actually like how Princess What's Her Name, who was like a vapid airhead whose only dialogue in the instruction manual was to give like an airheaded Miss America quote. In the cartoon was actually kind of like Xena. Like, I seriously think that they took Xena, Warrior Princess, and just, like, adapted her personality into Princess What's-Her-Name, and she was awesome. Like, she was a badass warrior, she was a rebel fighter, she was really cool! And, it's funny because Earthworm Jim had an evil clone called Evil Jim, and there was an episode where he cloned where the clone made clones of all of Jim's friends, and the evil Princess What's-Her-Name actually was like the video game counterpart. She was a ditzy valley girl who was obsessed with her looks and not very smart and all. That was fun. But yeah, like I suppose I could theoretically make an Earthworm Jim custom. It wouldn't necessarily be that hard. But I think there's an official Earthworm Jim figure that was made recently. I think NECA did it. I don't know. Google it for yourselves, guys. But I'm pretty sure there's a fairly recent Earthworm Jim figure. Moving along to this post. Lots of Nights into Dreams content. The Eggman Nightmarin in Sonic into Dreams is blonde. Yeah, like Eggman, one of the most famous ginger bald guys with the big red mustache. In the Nights into Dreams thing, he has a blonde mustache. Does Dr. Eggman dream of being blonde? Is Sonic afraid of blondes? Is it because Sonic, when he turns into his supersonic form, he turns gold, he associates being blonde with power? So, a blonde Eggman is like a super Eggman, and that makes him scarier? Is that what's going on? I don't know. But speaking of things I don't know about, One-Winged Wakeangel. Yeah. It's funny. This goes back to my college days. My friend Kat made a custom T-shirt for me featuring my little smiley face angel logo. And one of my friends in the anime club thought that before he saw the smiley face, he just saw that wing, and he thought, oh, for a second, I thought you were a member of the Church of the One-Winged Angel, which the Church of the One-Winged Angel, I think, is a meme that was going around in the early to mid-2000s. I remember it was in a VG Cats, but, yeah, I found that kind of amusing. But more on that later. Up next are a bunch of Nights into Dreams memes! Various Nights memes. My dad, who has been in a coma for 14 years and presumed dead, texted me this. I lived, bitch. It's been 14 years since Journey of Dreams came out. Yeah, doesn't that suck? Knight is supposedly one of Sega's mascot characters, but he has starred in exactly 2 games. I mean, I guess he's had cameos in others, like he was in Sega All-Stars Racing, but, like, properly, he's only been in 2 games. Kind of sad. And then there's this one. It's the newest in entertainment, and it's circular! Circular! I remember that one. I understood that reference. He's just standing there, menacingly. That's my best Patrick Star. Hopefully you got that one. And that's just that's just when you're a living hand. What else are you gonna do? And then Buff Wise Man can't hurt you. Buff Wise Man. Yes, I am as strong as I am wise, and I am very wise. Oh boy. And here's an interesting one. Reddit sometimes asks you to partake in surveys. I don't think any of this applies. What mature themes are posted or discussed here in r/Wakeangel2001? Alcohol and tobacco, amateur advice, drug use, gambling, guns and weapons, military conflict and terrorism, nudity, profanity, sex and eroticism, violence and gore. What the heck, man? My thread isn't even marked for any adult content. What are they asking? Although, honestly, I think amateur advice fits, because, like, we talk about custom toys and things that we would do for custom toys. I was actually talking about how I would convert a Mondo Gecko into Gex in this very video, so I guess amateur advice? Unless that's like amateur porn advice, because I can't really speak to that, but I guess kind of amateur advice? How is that a mature theme? How is amateur advice a mature theme? I don't think I want to know. But before we move on, let's welcome the return of Demon the Cat. Jimmy Jackson attempted to update Demon's design, so now she has a jacket, and yep, and also this. So yes, there you go, Angel, one-winged Wake Angel. There you go, my friends. I hope you were happy to see that. You know what? I think I'm going to leave you on the image of one-winged Wake Angel. But let me know what you think of that new Demon update. We're going to split this into a second part, so we'll do more of the thread posts in a follow-up video. But for now, this is Wakeangel2001 signing off.